the episode was trash.
Oh, hello, Craig.
Hello, Craig, our favorite member.
Greg.
Samurai, you are muted.
Also, you're one to talk. I am not that late amount of the time. You are later than me most of the time. You are not one to talk.
Me?
Yeah, Dino, your name is Sam. Yeah, it's not like I was talking to the guy named Sam.
Oh, I haven't. I didn't. But I'm
And
gonna
I was
leave you
early.
alone.
I mean, technically, you are the host. You should be here in the first place.
Well, excuse me
Exactly.
if I was doing my laundry.
Okay, come on. I'm exaggerating things.
We're
Anyways,
1 minute
is anybody
into the
else going to
podcast,
come?
We're already starting to beef.
So I've notified our special guest, and he's offline right now, so he might come, but that's only if he comes back online in the next hour.
Do we know that special guest?
Yes, I think I told you.
Raph?
Yeah, thanks for ruining the flippin' surprise. Not like
Just cut it out. Just cut the section out. Or just beep
Okay,
it
but
out.
that's not up to me. That's up to flippin' Zero, and that's if Zero wants
Hello,
to do it.
listen. You include Raph's image in the thumbnail. Anybody would be able to guess it anyways. So what's the point?
Okay, but he is in his silhouette, so not everyone would be able to guess it. Sam.
Also,
Half the people understand Raph's silhouette.
Well, I'm
More-
sorry, Sam.
You should be sorry, Samurai.
No, I do not apologize.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
no,
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
no. I see. The minute I knew we were recording this podcast, I was gonna have a flippin' head before you.
At least I'm not Zero.
Zero at least edits this dang podcast because I'm too lazy anymore. Because I'm kind of lazy.
to be honest, Zero is doing a better job.
What's that supposed to mean, Dino? At least Zero gives me the episodes when I need them, unlike certain individuals who only upload 2 times and then say they upload constantly. Mr. I'm on hiatus.
Okay, listen.
I uploaded 3 times in 2 weeks.
Okay, I want to clear up myself. My laptop has broken again, so I have given it for
Again?
fixing. Yes, but the mechanic is saying, or we can say, the repairer is saying that there's some problem with the motherboard. So I am thinking of buying a new laptop altogether. That's why it's going to take time. And I swear you all, if I lose my previous data, then I'm going to legit be mad because I have recorded all of my, I talked about the Gary Radical Red a while ago. I recorded 2 episodes, and you guys have no idea how long it took, especially all the grinding and everything. So I'm going to be legit mad if I lose the data.
Okay.
Mhm.
Guys. Just to
Yeah?
let you know, I might
Well,
not stay for the whole podcast because I have something going
Oh,
on,
that's completely fine.
after 4 o'clock, I'm guessing. So I just want to get my thoughts on the episode over with, so I don't have to miss anything.
Yeah, okay. So let me give
Okay,
you the
then I guess you can go at the beginning before DNO.
Can I give the damn introduction? Gee.
Yes, Samurai, please go on.
So, welcome to the Masters Day podcast, everybody. It's me, your host, Samurai, as always, and I'm here with
Dino?
Our Cloud.
Sam, who is here only occasionally now.
Yeah, Sam. No, don't work at that at all. Just come here occasionally. And me, your host, as always, Samurai. Today we're talking about episode 78, if I'm not wrong.
77.
77. We're talking about episode 77, as everybody just reminded me. This is the Volkner episode where he made his return and battled Ash. So, since Heartcloud said she wanted to give her thoughts first, take it away.
All right. I have a lot to say about this episode. To be honest, this has got to be one of the probably the best battle in Journey so far because, oh my gosh, the choreography in terms of animation has given such a boost that the scenes where the battle takes place just feels so clean, and it just makes some scenes, I mean, in particular, really epic. The Pokemon that Ash used, well, did serve their purposes well. I'm gonna get my little nitpicks out of this episode out of the way first. The only biggest nitpick I only have is Gengar not winning in this episode after not battling in 50 plus episodes ago. So
Yeah, sure.
even though he did put in some work compared to like the Karina battle where he barely tried at all, at least I would give Gengar credit for at least trying to like give his best in terms of giving damage to Luxray. And at least I would say he did his hardest, despite losing to Rotom Fan. Okay. I'm gonna go over my my opinion on the Pikachu Z move at the end and my favorite element of the episode. The Pikachu Z move at the end was expected, but also pretty cool to look at. I mean, it looks gorgeous in the Journey style. Like it looks so similar to like some of the Sun and Moon series scenes of this. It just feels so right to have it be replicated in the Journey style. Even though it was kind of questionable how Electivire observed the 10 million Thunderbolt kind of move into Motor Drive, but I'll let it pass since it's not like it sometimes the anime that doesn't follow like game logic, so I'm gonna let it pass since it just doesn't seem to be that bothersome to me. So with that scene being like a great scene, and the ending where it shows the many people and even some particular people watching the battle, quoting B, Cynthia, Raihan, and even Leon. I can't wait for more of these to return and to see more battles with Ash. Now I'm gonna go over my favorite element of the episode. And if you follow me on Twitter, you would see that I have a lot of praise on this certain element. It's
Yes, you know, Lucario. You are a Lucario sim. Just like Dab is the Charizard sim.
yes. And so Lucario in this episode just really impressed me in this. Like in particular, he takes a lot of damage and even gets paralyzed. He still keeps going despite that. And one scene in particular where he builds up his reversal with a really cool shield that has come back ever since he did it when he was Riolu. I just love that scene so much. It just shows that even in difficult situations where you are like where Lucario is like severely damaged, he refuses to give up and keep on going. It's like he refuses to like go into the state of fainting, and the scene really shows of how he can like overpower like any difficult situation he is in terms of like condition, and how he knocks out Rotom Fan with a powerful reversal punch, and how he tied with Luxray was really cinematic to me. I mean, I even quoted some of my favorite shots in the episode itself on Twitter, and it's just that Lucario just really impressed me so much in this episode that it just really made this episode pretty much one of my favorites in the series, because the choreography, of course, being absolutely clean and epic, and just Lucario's battle spirit of not giving up despite the condition he is in just made me so proud of him. Like, I just can't form any words of just how Lucario just really impressed me after showing that he can put in a good impression despite not battling after so long. So those are my highlights of the episode, and even though Lucario was mostly my praises, because you know me so well, it you follow me on Twitter, then
Yes, I know.
that's basically that. So a high 9 out of 10 for me. I'm done.
Post about Lucario more than you post about the anime itself.
Yeah.
Like Dino and Corviknight. For those who don't know, Dino and
I
Corviknight have
never
a very
post about
deep.
Corona.
What's that, Dino? You post
Wait a
about
minute.
Corviknight more than you
Remember,
post
you
about
not
yourself?
like it. You
Wait a
mention
minute,
his
I want to
Samurott
confirm
in every
something.
single episode.
Wait a minute, I want to confirm something. I thought Diano's favorite Pokemon was Octozolt.
It's
It is.
Corviknight. You see, one day Dino like kidnapped me and put me in an alleyway, and then he said my favorite Pokemon was never Arctozolt, it was always Corviknight, and that's why that's the story.
Yeah, because once Diano made a post on Twitter asking what should be his mascot because he did not have any particular favorite Pokemon, and we gave many suggestions to him.
See, Dino, now if
Okay.
you were me, you would have had a totally based mascot being Samron, not Lucario and not Raboot, because Raboot can go off himself. We got the original
Wait,
best
who's
starter.
Raboot?
Your
Wait, who's
Pokemon isn't
Raboot?
even Raboot.
Maybe the guy named Raboot Fanboy Sam. I wonder who.
Okay, let me
I
confirm
wonder
myself.
who.
even though on his Twitter name it says Charizard.
Yeah, we know.
I want to
He's
confirm
a
myself.
Charizard.
Okay, so Raboot is not my favorite Pokemon. I think he is on the 4th rank when it comes to my favorite Pokemon list. But of course, while the time I made my Twitter account and we can say my YouTube channel, Raboot was everywhere because of the anime, and he had a good reputation. He grew on me, and yep, that was the history. That is the reason I made my YouTube channel based on him. Heck, if you would see a few of my older videos, it's my mascot is not really a Raboot. It's more of a Charizard Raboot fusion sort of thing. So yeah, but as time passed, because now I don't really have much to talk about Raboot since he has left Go's Arsenal, replaced for that ridiculously oversized rabbit. Okay, no offense, Madison. I like Cinderace, but that was supposed to be a joke. Okay, that was supposed to be a joke. That was supposed to be a joke. Anyway,
None taken.
Yeah. So yeah, I just gave up on Raboot and continued my Charizard fanboying.
I see.
Anyway,
Wow,
so 9 out of 10.
great. That was great. That was a beautiful story. That was a beautiful story.
Interesting, I would say.
Yeah, at least we all don't swim through Lucario like somebody here.
Yes.
True. Okay, now
Zero is editing this, so I would watch out.
Zero
another
doesn't swim
thing,
through
because
Lucario. Zero swims through Riolu.
what?
Zero's old name is literally like Anipoke Lucario or something.
More importantly, what is with everybody and having a Lucario mascot? Be original, jeez. You don't see everybody with a Samurott
Salami.
mascot.
Okay, listen. That's another reason. That's another reason why I had Raboot as my mascot, because of course Raph has Charizard as a mascot, and there are probably other people who would have Charizard as mascot, so I wanted to be a little original there. Because
Well,
because there were two more choices, being Infernape, my second favorite Pokemon that was owned by, I think, infamous gamer, I'm not sure the name. Apologies if I pronounce it incorrectly. And then Incineroar, which was, of course, owned by Crasher. So I did not really have many options. Hence I went with Raboot.
okay. Well, on my YouTube channel, I have Cinderace as my kind of my mascot because that's the Pokemon I use for my OC.
Ha! Lame! I only have one mascot. Technically, I have 3 others, but those were in the beta stages of my channel where I almost had Mighty Anna as my mascot. Don't ask.
Mighty Anna.
I thought you wanted a split evolution for no, a mega evolution for Mighty Anna.
Yes, I flippin' did, but no. We gave the Mega Evolution to Ducking Houndoom, which is also one of my favorite Pokemon. But no, everybody wanted Houndoom to be the Cerberus Pokemon. No, Mighty Anna, why do we have to give everything to Gen 2? Gen 2 can eat a sock for all I care. That's why we didn't get Let's Go
What does
Johto.
Gen 2
'cause
have?
It ate my
What does
sock.
Gen 2 have?
Dang.
It has Feraligatr. It has Feraligatr.
Gen 2 has the episode where Ash released Charizard.
Shut up!
Ash released Charizard. Second, Ash never released Oshawott, therefore I'm better than Sam in every way possible.
Okay, listen. Oshawott is worse than Charizard because in one of the Decolore
That.
in one of the Decolore Islands episode, Oshawott simped for a princess girl, Oshawott, and he was so down for it that he was about to ditch Ash for her.
Like Charizard's any better. Charizard for the female Charizard in the Charizard Valley.
Yes, he did.
That's how you can tell it's a girl.
Listen. Ash and Charizard had a mutual understanding among each other. It was not as if Ash literally said, "Who needs a weak Charizard anyway?" So that's the reason. Otherwise, Charizard won't have left Ash. Yeah, he wanted to train in the valley, but that wasn't because of the female Charizard. Unlike Oshawott, who wanted to leave his trainer because of a female.
Okay, that was a legit comedic moment. You can't judge a comedic moment and treat it as a serious one. It's like treating the time Ash forgot something as a serious moment. The Elisa battle, which is why I don't mind it, because I realize it's a joke. Not a funny joke, but it's a joke.
The only redeeming factor of the Elisa battle was Palpitoad, and everything else was bad.
Take that back. I will not have anybody commenting on Palpitoad.
I have no comment.
Palpitoad is a disgrace to water types.
No,
Palpitoad
is
better
fog.
than Oshawott.
Don't
Dino,
trigger
shut up.
Sam.
Dino.
Diano.
Yeah.
Diano.
Yeah, that should be the new line of the podcast.
Anyways,
shut
listen. Please, someone talk about the episode now. It's been
All right,
ridiculous.
who wants to go next?
Let's hear my thoughts of the episode.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
if you guys follow me
Bonnie.
on Twitter.
Yes, I do. But
Yeah.
Samurai, for some reason, doesn't follow me on Twitter now.
Samurai?
I swear I follow you on Twitter. Let me go fix that. Continue what you're saying, Dan. Let me go fix that right.
Okay, yes.
Okay. So, if you guys follow me on Twitter, you would know that I have a more negative view of the episode. Not saying that the episode was trash, since it wasn't. It has like a lot of positive elements that I enjoy a lot.
Zero, edit this so it says that Dino said the episode was trash.
Zero's on my side. He won't edit something like that. Right, Zero? Yeah, okay, anyways. I will get the positives out of the way. Obviously the Lucario scenes was great. It was like, especially that shadow clone scene, I really liked it. And I like Gengar's personality, like always. Gengar is my favorite Pokemon on Journey's team. And the Z move is a very controversial topic on Twitter right now. Like everyone is talking about, like stating Pokédex, making math equations about it. But I think it's like just a nice it's just a nice scene in the anime. I don't worry about game logic that much because it was just a cool scene. Like I just want to see something nice, and so I don't mind it. But the rest, of course, okay. I forgot the last scene. We finally have a new member confirmed for the Master 8 podcast. One step nearer to the day where every 8 members will appear in the podcast. They won't, but still. And no, and that was great. Cynthia, of course, Cynthia is the queen, and we finally have her in Pokemon Journeys and a masterclass. And that's about everything positive about the episode. Then I will get to the more negative points. First of all, I feel like the battle was in slow pace, but the animation felt like the animation felt slow. Like it felt like 3 FPS. Like obviously it was faster, but
Okay, yes, I need to say something. Sorry for interrupting, Dino. I agree
Yeah.
with Dino's point here because I recently rewatched the battle, and the scene where Gengar lost. Before that, there was a scene where Lucario threw his aura sphere towards electric terrain Luxray, and the aura sphere was going very, very slow. So, yes, I understand Dino's point there. I think the battle paced a little better after Gengar fainted, but now that I think about it, Dino is right about the animation being a little sluggish or slow.
yeah. And like most of the time they try to compensate that by just having like Lucario or Electivire like teleport is instead of jumping.
There may be an actual real world reason why the animation was slow. Certain times, since Pokemon is aired overseas, sometimes they put in precautions because apparently in America they have this thing where that one Pokemon episode that caused the kids to get a bunch of seizures. Oh
Yeah,
my
the
god!
Oregon
Oregon.
one.
Yeah. So
I don't think
apparently when you air, it was
I
banned in
don't think
America.
I.
So no one ever saw it.
Oh, okay.
So basically, there's this regulation that when you're making a TV show with bright flashing lights, there has to be some sort of frame delay. Like it can't run as fast as it wants to. It has to delay the frames. I don't remember how much they have to delay the frames, but that could be the reason.
Yeah, that would be fair. But like I just like watch too many other animes right now that have like no restrictions. Like most of the animes now don't have that restriction, right? It's just specific for Pokemon.
I see. Well, from me rewatching the episode a couple of times, I honestly don't see like after Gengar fainted, I think the speed of the animation did get a little better. But I
Yeah.
do kind of admit that the beginning is kind of slow.
Yeah. And like I said, it tried to compensate it for like just having a Pokemon suddenly appear in a frame and just have the battle like continue after that. But the problem there is that the scene after they like suddenly jump at a very fast pace is then really slow pace, and it's just kind of weird for me. And I think the episode would have been better for me if I just like not if I haven't noticed that fact. But once I notice it in like one scene, I just keep thinking about it for the whole episode, and that kind of ruined my experience. And also one thing, they reuse animation like so much. I don't know if it's just for this episode or it's for Pokemon in general, and I just never noticed that. But like the Rotom fan using air slashes was used like 2 times. The Grookey scene where his eyes like change
Yes,
size
his eyes
is used like
became
4
bigger.
times or something.
Yeah,
And
that's more Pokemon itself. That's
mm,
Pokemon itself. For example, every
I
time Ash threw a Pokeball in Diamond and Pearl, that was the same animation over and over again. They just didn't make a background for it and then use the anime speed lines. Like when Ash throws a Pokeball, you usually see this gradient and this like lines moving.
yeah,
They do that to
I
save money.
I've
Ash,
seen repeated scenes so much in other episodes, so it's no biggie if I see this again.
Mm. Yeah, that's just something I noticed during the episode, so that kind of ruined my experience for the rest of the episode. And well, it was like, yeah, it was fine for like normal Journey episode standard, but for a hyped episode like that was supposed to like I had expectation that this maybe would top the Ash versus Viscus battle, which is still my favorite battle. Yes, Sam, you heard it right. And yeah, I would give it like a 7 out of 10. It was okay.
Okay. For the amount of criticism you showed,
That's good
7 is
enough.
actually a pretty high number.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
At least
I
the positives did somewhat overweigh the negatives.
All right.
yeah,
sounds good
exactly.
to me.
I just can't ignore the positive in the episode. Like there are a lot of positives. So objectively, I would give it like a higher score than I would have initially given after the episode.
That's
All right.
fine.
All right. So Sam, do you want to
so
go
one
or do you
another
want me to
thing
go?
which Dino said in his Twitter rant, or we can say discussion, was that the
It
OST,
was
or we can
rad.
say the soundtrack of the episode, wasn't as good as it should have been.
Oh yeah.
Which I definitely agreed with, because of course there it's supposed to be like a hype battle, hype soundtrack for a hype battle. In this battle, we didn't get a good soundtrack until the Rotom for fan came, and where the variant version of the Sword Shield Gym battle theme kicked in. But before that, everything was a little weird, and even after that, we got a bit of weird, we can say, weird soundtracks. I think with the soundtracks, there's a part problem. Part problem is that the composer of the soundtracks for Pokemon anime has recently changed. I think the current one is Yuki Harashahi. I might have been saying the name wrong.
Yuki
And since he
Hayashi.
has recently came, and since the previous one was doing his work for multiple years, it's a bit hard for the newer composer to get justification of what the Pokemon soundtrack is supposed to be. It's extremely tough to fit in the role of the composer. But even after that, the other thing is the music placement, because you cannot just put a cheerful music in between such a hype battle. That just kind of ruins
Exactly.
everything. So I have this person on Twitter who said that while the battle was amazing, the soundtracks were like pretty misplaced, and he is going to change it soon by editing. So I agreed with this statement on Twitter.
Well,
Mm.
from what I've seen on Deanno's Twitter, I do gotta admit that some scenes does feel like misplaced, but to be honest, I was like too distracted by the scene itself without mentioning the music, so it's not that bothersome to me. But if it's bothersome to some of you, it's all right.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess just different people had like different perspective of
Okay, Diano,
watching
so
an
are you
episode.
done with your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right.
Okay,
So Sam, do
so
you want to go
Samurai,
first or do
may
you
I
want?
go first or you go first?
Yeah. Go ahead. Knock yourself out. You can go first. But first,
Go
I have
ahead,
to mention
Sam.
something. Can I mention something real quick?
Go ahead.
How?
Yes.
Why do you guys pronounce Dino's name Diano? Like, Dino, how do you pronounce your name? This has been the topic of discussion many a time.
Dino.
Okay, so I was right the first time.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would be able to justify myself. I don't know if I would be able to. So before the Masters Day podcast was made, me and Dino had a collab with each other. I think it was the top 10 Go Pokemon, which was admittedly a fake list because I didn't like Sobble that much now. I mean, I don't like Sobble that much now, and Rookie has taken the first or like somewhere spot in between. But at that point, since Dino sent me his share of recording, and since I did his name, I pronounced it like a DNO. And ever since that, I have been saying it continuously like that, although we have talked multiple times in the podcast. So I am at fault at that point, but I will be able to correct my mistake here. I'm on this topic.
That's
Mine
fine.
mine too.
See, Dino, Sam can admit when he's wrong. How come you can't admit when you're wrong?
Yeah, Samurai, you're right for the first time in your life.
What do you mean? I'm always right.
No,
We don't have to
No,
discuss this here. Just let the viewers watch
we're
the
not having
past
this
podcast
argument.
episodes.
anyways, let's
Yeah.
Sam, go.
Okay.
Sam, say your opinion. We're not having this argument
Okay,
again.
yes, sir. So listen, I'm warning you all because my opinions are always ridiculously long as compared to you all. So first of all, I want to say, unlike DNO, I'm sorry, unlike Dino, I have pretty straightforward thoughts with the episode, and it was like epic. So first of all, I want to say how the premise of the episode started. Of course, in every other episode, we got like in the Iris episode or in the Corina episode, half of the episode focus on only Ash and the new character reuniting, and it takes a good time from what could have been a much better battle than what we got. So, but in this episode, we didn't get any of that thing because Ash and Volkner was just having a little conversation beforehand. Next, I want to talk about how this episode was set up, because in the previous episode, being the Alola one, the podcast which I missed, but I have sent my thoughts about it. We saw that Ash had gotten a notification about battle against Volkner, and I really liked it because that gave both Volkner and Ash 1 week for preparation. And with the amount of strategy Volkner has used, I guarantee that he must have prepared for Ash. And as for Ash, we saw how he had took back his Electrium Z, Pikachium Z from his home. So even he has been preparing for this. It's not like any random battle. So I liked how the hyper class is structured in this way. Next up, I want to talk about the actual battle itself. And as for the battle, I loved it from the beginning to the finish. First off, we saw Ash bring out his Lucario and Volkner bring out his Luxray. Then Ash, of course, knew that Volkner was going to use electric terrain with Luxray, as he has seen the strategy before with Clement. And which is a detail I really liked. Then Volkner uses Rising Voltage, which is the move which doubles the power in electric terrain. So that's another great strategy, we can say, or trick, which Volkner used. And after realizing it would be too much for Lucario, he brings him back and sends in Gengar. And like Dino said, I love Gengar. I love his personality. I love his battle style especially. And like Volkner himself praised Gengar for how agile and interesting Pokemon he was. And of course, he put up a good fight against Volkner's Luxray, although he wasn't able to defeat him because he switched in for Rotom Fan. Now, against Rotom Fan, okay, so I want to talk about the thing. Volkner's choice is actually based on Volkner's choice of Rotom Fan is actually based on one of his team in Pokemon Black 2 White 2 World Tournament. But it's so stupid. Rotom Fan is objectively the worst Rotom form. I'm sorry if any of you like it, but it's like objectively one of the worst Rotom forms because he is a flying type with Levitate.
Your
Yeah.
point.
Literally, yes.
Yeah, I could see why. I've seen
Okay.
it in a top video from Lumio's trainer Zach.
Yes. I think I have seen that too. And the other thing for which I dislike his usage of a Rotom Fan is that he used the infamous, we can say, paralysis hex strategy. First off, he paralyzed his opponent Gengar by using Thunder Wave, and then he used Hex. Now, yes, this strategy is good, but why does he have Rotom Fan with him? Won't like Rotom normal form Rotom make more sense? Because it's literally a ghost type. He would have gotten stab on it. I think I have there's not
he
like
had
direct. Yes.
he had one in like I think it was platinum, and that's why they gave it to him.
Yes, that's
Because
what I'm saying. Because I don't think he did not have one in platinum, but he had one in his black 2, white 2 team, which is why he has one here now. So I just didn't found it interesting, but that's like mostly a nitpick. They had to give him one Pokemon, and it was a Rotom fan because of the games. That's not like a flaw of the episode, and the strategy itself was cool, and I'm satisfied with that. Now, but Gengar fainted without defeating any other Pokemon, and this has happened for the second time in a row because the previous time it happened was against Corina. I could have excused this, but with Journeys, it's a Pokemon hardly ever gets the chance to battle, so it's extremely disappointing what happened to Gengar. I can just hope something good happens to him in the future. Next up, Ash brings out his Pikachu to battle Rotom Fan. Here comes my second good point of the episode is that Volkner realized that Pikachu has changed his moveset from Volt Tackle to Electro Web. Because he was like, wow, he learned Electro Web. And it was just such a minute detail, but I enjoyed it so much. I don't know why.
I definitely can see that.
I like that little detail too.
Yeah. I think that's just like an insignificant yet really cool moment.
Keep going.
Okay, yes. And after that, he used his Electivire to absorb Pikachu's Volt. Then finally, Ash brings out his Lucario, who beats Rotom Fan with his what move was that? Reversal. That was another great strategy from, or we can say the only strategy from Ash's side. But you know what? I will take it. And then we saw him face Luxray, who he again defeated. So, like Madison said, Lucario's performance was nice in this episode, which was needed because he hasn't done much other than the Mewtwo battle so far in Journeys. And after that, we finally saw what everyone was waiting for, being Ash finally using his Z move. And now, like Dino said, this has been an extremely controversial topic on Twitter. Everyone are like either praising it, either defending it, or like criticizing it. So what I think about is that it's like a fair scene. I understand what they were going for, but yeah, it kind of ruins the game logic, especially with such a game-oriented battle. It was using all sorts of game tricks, like Volkner's 2 strategies. But like I can live with it. And so yeah, Ash won. But here comes by far my favorite part of the episode, that Cynthia was revealed to be a part of PWC. Can you guys imagine? Like, I was so shocked. I was so happy. And that point alone might have that point alone has took away all my negatives of the episode for the most part. And I would give it a rating of 9 out of 10. It was just really amazing.
That's a nice rating.
Yeah, and I want to add on like one thing for the last scene. Like I was also really surprised when they mentioned Cynthia, and I think it is an especially nice touch for me since I don't think like anything has surprised me in Journey since the Farfetch capture. Like unpredictability used to be like Journey's strong suit, and it's kind of got shafted by the constant trailers, teasers, OP, everything we got. And it's nice to finally see a surprise again.
True.
Yeah, so Samurai, you want to go on with your
Yes,
opinion
Samurai,
now?
now go with your thoughts. I don't have the whole day.
All right, time for the actual explanation that everybody came for. This samurai explanation. And considering that Volkner
No,
is
we
my
didn't came.
favorite,
No, we didn't came for you.
Samurai trainer.
considering that Volkner is my favorite character from Sinnoh, I think I would have the most diverse opinion on this episode. It was mediocre.
Wow, that was
Uh,
pretty straightforward.
care to explain?
If you remember, when going into this episode on my Twitter, I was very pessimistic about this episode going in.
Yes, you were, because you are pessimistic on everything.
That was not true. When Infernape returned, I was not pessimistic at all.
That's your
So when
fault.
he actually returned, you were.
Yeah, of course I was, because that return was absolute dog water. Nobody's gonna tell me that the Infernape return was good. If you can look me in the eye and tell me that Infernape had a good return,
I'm
I
going
will
to be
slap
straightforward.
you in the face.
Look, I'm going to be straightforward.
Oh boy.
The episode was good because Gary returned, not because Infernape returned. Infernape got shafted so badly that now people are finally putting it on like how strong is Infernape actually, because the last time we saw him was in the Paul battle where he swept 3 months, but now he got destroyed. Like not exactly destroyed, but he didn't do anything against Moltres. So
That's what
yes,
I'm
it
saying.
was.
Everyone's like,
Yes.
Infernape could defeat a legendary Pokemon. No, it couldn't. The reason why Sceptile and Charizard could do that is because they at least have been through at least 2 leagues and the Battle Frontier. Infernape in reality has just been in one gym challenge and one league. That wasn't that hard when you think about it, because at least Sceptile battled most of the Hoenn League. Infernape only battled one time in the entire Sinnoh League.
I just want to add on that
Listen.
Talonflame.
Dang.
Infernape, when you talk about Infernape, are you like including his experience as a Chimchar or not?
I'm including everything. Like I'm including Chimchar to Infernape. That's what I talk about when I'm talking about a Pokemon.
Then Chimchar has done like good chunk of stuff. He has
I'm not saying
destroyed.
Chimchar hasn't done good stuff. Like
What?
Infernape's definitely still a strong Pokemon, but he's not a legendary like beater Pokemon.
I think he's like legendary. For me,
I
I
wouldn't.
I think Blaze Infernape, like when his ability kicks in, is just about as strong as Charizard. I think personally.
Okay, but that means he needs to get his butt whooped horrendously just so he can use Blaze. Infernape only Blaze isn't like Ash Greninja where Infernape can just turn it on anytime you want. You can only use Blaze when you have very little health left, which means Infernape has to get his butt.
Okay. So I'm first off, we will continue this. I will give another thought about the episode is that I like that little scene where Lucario uses reversal because it legit gave me Infernape Blaze vibes. That
Yes,
yes,
it kind of did too.
Yes.
Called Easter egg.
I mentioned that in my
Yes.
video. Check out my video.
Yes, I am going to check out your video. I've seen it. I mean, I've seen that you have uploaded.
I'll check it out after this.
But
anyway, Samurai, we saved the Infernape battle round for later. First, talk about the episode.
Right. The episode. So I thought the episode was mediocre. I thought the battle was actually pretty good for Journey standards. It definitely had some great animation and some pretty decent choreography. I do think Gengar should have gotten the win, but I think Lucario deserved it a bit more since Lucario hasn't really done anything. So I guess Lucario kind of deserved the win a bit more since Gengar already got the win from the Viscous battle and he didn't have another win. So I guess Lucario, since he never really participated in a PWC battle, this was kind of his big moment to shine.
Oh, he had participated off screen.
We're not counting off screen.
Let's not count off screen land.
The Electivire versus Pikachu battle. That is definitely a battle to talk about. So it depends on how literal you want to take Pokedex entries. Because I've seen people saying, "Oh, Motor Drive should have kicked in." Okay, then how come this girl isn't burning alive if Makar goes hotter than the flipping sun? Which I say, Pokedex entries aren't meant to be taken super literally. You guys are doing this based on basic. It's like how I will say a sentence like, yeah, a lion can beat anything. That's false. A lion can't beat anything. That's what it is. That's what Pokedex entries are. They're hyperbole in a sense. They're describing the Pokemon. So when someone says Magcargo is hotter than the sun,
Yeah.
they're probably
I've seen
Yeah.
the Pokedex rant on Twitter too.
they're
Like, of
probably
course,
just
they say
you go
that
first.
anyone with Victini would never lose, but we have seen Victini lose in the games.
It's just based on
I see.
information that whoever is getting the Pokedex is getting. So probably the people studying Magcargo is like, dang, it's hotter than the sun over here. Let's just write that down.
The Legends Arceus protagonist.
Okay, that is false too, because those Pokedex entries would have been either lost to time or very outdated. Because by that logic, there's certain evolutions that don't exist, certain forms that don't exist anymore, certain evolutions that didn't exist. You realize you shouldn't use Legend Arceus as the base for all Pokedex entries. That was a long time ago. That's like using descriptions of tigers from 200 years ago to describe them now. That is stupid.
Yeah, okay. Fear
I
Samurai.
see.
Don't use Legends Arceus. Heck, even the ones from Red and Blue are kind of outdated. In Red and Blue, Arcanine is from China. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
I can see why.
Pokedex
In the
entries are
original
always,
series, there are fishes in the aquarium.
but according to everybody else, Arcanine are nice and fluffy dogs that get along with everybody. Even though Arcanine looks more like a tiger than a dog, but we're not going to argue about that right now.
And he's just stone. He's not fluffy. That's literally rocks on his
We're not
body.
talking about Histonian Growlithe. We're talking about base Arcanine.
No, we're talking about his own Growlithe in a minute.
Okay,
Can I
When we'll
guys,
get
give
into
my
the
rating on
proven
this
present.
episode? Okay.
something.
So
I
honestly,
think
Go really didn't need to be in this episode. Like he really didn't need to be here. Like, I don't hate Go, don't get me wrong, but he really didn't need to be there.
But he is
True.
the second protagonist. You can't just write him out like.
They did
Excuse
for
me,
Ash. They basically
Yes,
did
Ash.
for Ash in that one episode focusing on Go. That's no excuse.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways,
but they,
guys,
Okay.
anyways, guys, I have to leave because I have some busy schedule today. So I'm sorry because I was not able to talk about BDSP or Legends Arceus. So,
Don't worry, you'll
anyways,
be here
I'm
next.
leaving. If I get the time, I will rejoin a bit later. But for now, bye everyone. Sam is out.
Bye,
Bye.
Sam.
Bye, Sam.
Bye.
But yeah, I'm gonna probably give this episode same as Dino a 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it, but I thought it was mediocre. I'm definitely not gonna rewatch this episode for a while. But yeah, I thought the episode was fine.
So same rating as Dino.
Yep.
yeah. So we have
Well, I
two
guess-
nines and two sevens.
I guess we
Well-
can get into the topics of this week. Being
Well, my
of
rating.
course- Oh, well, give
Sorry.
your rating.
Well, my rating is like the same as Sam's is rating.
Oh, okay.
9 out of 10.
All right. So we have 2 highs and 3 middles. Oh, 2 middles, not 3. Okay, so I guess we can give the topics of this time. So, do you guys want to talk about Legends Arceus first, or do you guys want to talk about the Brilliant Diamond and Sparkling Pearl? I don't know the abbreviation. for it.
Shining.
Let's go for- let's-
Dude.
Let's talk about the remakes.
All right, so the remakes. So who wants to go first? Because I don't mind going first.
Well, I can go first on the remakes. Well,
What's that, Dino? I can go first. Thanks, Dino.
you're welcome, Samurai.
So the remix saw a massive overhaul. And also, everybody calling this game that said it looked bad all the way in January. No shit, the game wasn't even finished. That's like judging Breath of the Wild when only 25% of it is done. No shit, it doesn't look good. It's not finished. Sorry, Zero, if I'm swearing. I'm just going on a rant.
I hear swear words all the time, so no biggie.
Like, come on. Why would you guys judge a game that's not finished? It's understandable if, let's say, they released a demo. You could judge that, because at least Sun and Moon released a demo. But by that point, 80% of the game was already done, and they were just fixing up minor patches.
Mm-hmm.
The
True.
game looks way better and looks like it's going to be better than Oras. We got customizable characters of different skin tones. We got new features that weren't in the original games that what you guys wanted. Sure, they're not megas, but we don't need megas anymore. They honestly didn't really add anything to the game.
Even though
Why
it's
is
not
everybody acting like Cynthia? What? They're not idiots. They clearly know what they're doing. But this remake's supposed to be faithful. Being faithful doesn't mean 1-to-1. Fire Emblem 11, Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, is a remake of the first game. That game is not completely faithful. I would argue it's a faithful remake, but it's not 1-to-1. There is a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that. Like I've seen media that is trying to be remakes of the originals, and I could see a clear difference where the remakes do have some new elements while also trying to be like, while also keeping elements to stay true to the originals. That is what remakes are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Why is everybody being so hard on this game now? Wasn't this what you guys were asking for instead of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, which were good games, mind you? And probably in the next 5 years, everyone's gonna be like, Ultra Sun and Moon were so goated. I don't know why. I always loved this game. No, you didn't. You wanted Diamond and Pearl remix, and when you got them, y'all hated on them. Now y'all want them? Choose one. Pokemon fans are never satisfied. You literally have the biggest franchise on earth. You guys are never satisfied. Just take the game and stop complaining. If you don't want to play the game, don't play the game. No one's going to force you to play it. Other franchises barely get a chance to survive. Does anybody know what Golden Sun is? I think not, because that franchise died on the GBA. But Pokemon had like 5 games on that stuff. But no, we complain because this tree doesn't look like absolute perfection. Gee.
Thank you, Samurai, for that rant.
Yeah. At least you got that out of your system.
Well,
It's just, man, I had to let some of that out.
Are you calm now?
Samurai's
Kinda.
never calm.
Kinda. You guys can talk about your things. I'm gonna calm down.
Okay. From my part, from my experience with looking at these, from what I've seen, I do gotta agree that the graphics do look much better compared to like what we originally saw like earlier this year. They do look much better because it is getting closer, and I do agree that the graphics do look much better compared to what it looks like before, because it does look like it's more done compared to like before. And I didn't get straight to complaining about it like in the beginning of the year, because it was an early teaser trailer, and I know that the graphics weren't that done yet, so I didn't get straight to complaining about it back then. And just seeing the complete graphics in this recently, I think it looks really good. So that's all I gotta say, to be honest, because, well, I only saw little bits of the Pokemon Presents this week, so that's basically that.
Mm. So now I will talk about my opinions on the remakes. I was more on the critical side when the first trailer dropped, since yeah, of course, it didn't look great back then. We can all agree on that. And now I think the graphic definitely improved a lot. It's still not perfect. Like, I still have my problems with it, but I'm fine with that, since the features they showed us were great. Like the custom character design, the custom outfits, the underground. I think these are great features. And like, I heard a lot of rumor that it was supposed to be like a very, very faithful remake, but I'm glad that it's not that faithful. and yeah, I think that everything looks great. I probably will play the game since I never played Diamond and Pearl or Platinum. But yeah, Legends Arceus is more of the highlight for me in this present. But I'm fine with BDSP.
Cool.
So, Samurai, do we want to move on to Legends Arceus, or do you have something to say? Samurai probably has someone in the room right now, so he can't open the mic.
Yeah, that's true. I've
No,
had
I
that
was
problem.
just moving clothes out. I was just moving clothes out the dryer. But yeah, we can move on to Pokemon's Legend Arceus news. So we got a bunch of stuff revealed for it, including some new exclusive forms to the game, some new features announced. So Dino, if you want to go first before I go on another rant on how people are ungrateful.
Okay, I will go.
Go for it.
Go first. The new Legends Arceus trailer is just beautiful. Like, of course you can complain about the trees like always, but of course the graphics aren't perfect. The graphics are not the next Breath of the Wild. But I'm extremely happy with what we got in this trailer. Since last trailer we got like the general concept was cool, but we didn't get more details. This trailer we finally know more details, and I'm loving it. First of all, the new Pokemon is exactly what I wanted. If you saw my tweet, my biggest hope for the trailer was new Pokemon or new forms for Legends Arceus, and the forms we got are great. Stantler finally has a new evolution. Growlithe has a new form. Bravery has a new form, and Pokemon decided to make the Basculin line cool. That's something unexpected, and yeah, and the mechanics are great. You can see in trailer footage that they have strong style, agile style, both great, and they have like Pokemon against Pokemon, but also like character against Pokemon. They have the Team Galaxy, which is supposed to be like Team Galactic in ancient times, and they have also custom outfits like the Growlithe outfits, and yeah, and I'm surprised. I'm not surprised, but I'm just more happy than I would have thought I would be for Legends Arceus, and I'm definitely gonna buy this game and check that out.
Can I quickly share my thoughts before Samurai does his?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Like I said with the remakes, I watched very little of the Pokemon Presents this week, but I did catch some glimpse of some clips of Legend of Arceus. I like Dino said the game looks gorgeous, and I do agree that the new features did make it more like excitable for me to like see what it's like when it comes out. So not much to say. Like I said for the remakes, just I just think that the game that does look gorgeous with what I've seen in the live stream of Pokemon Presents this week.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So now I will give my thoughts.
Go ahead, Sam.
Okay. Of course. Oh, also Samurai. Sorry, I'm a bit. I've came back and took your place. Anyways,
it's no
like
problem.
Like I think both of you, I don't really have a Switch, so I haven't played much games on the Switch other than Pokemon Sword, which I was able to play because my friend had one. Now, I think with the BDSP, of course, like many others, I wasn't a fan of it due to the chibi art style. but it grew on me over time, and we'll be finally getting something after so long for the game. I actually like it now because, of course, were not getting any sort of news about the game for like I don't know how long, at least, and ever since that they never talked about it. So, but they have finally done it, and I am happy that they did. But I think that PSC won't really be among the better remakes because, of course, we have Fire Red, which was like very basic, but it was like a much needed reboot to the original Pokemon Red and Blue. Then we got a Heart Gold, which is widely considered as the best remake which Pokemon has ever made, and arguably one of the best games. And then we got ORAS, which everyone likes to rant because of the Battle Frontier loss. But I think BDSP won't be as good as them because I don't really see many new features in this game as compared to the past ones.
Can I
fair.
comment on that? Can I comment on that real quick?
Yes.
Go on.
Heart Gold and Soul Silver were more faithful than Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. They were arguably more faithful than they're probably one of the more faithful remakes out there. It's more due to their side features is why everybody seems to like them. If we take out Kanto, the Battle Frontier, and all the things that Gen 4 and 3 added, Heart Gold and Soul Silver are just remakes in the same vein as Fire Red and Leaf Green.
I see.
Yeah.
Remakes are more the quintessential way to play that generation, which is why when I see people say, I don't think Gen 5 should be remade, when they remake Gen 5, it's not going to be for people who grew up with Gen 5. It's going to be the quintessential way to play that for younger generations or kids who are just getting into the franchise and want to play an older generation. Believe it or not, Gen 5 is going to be turning 15 sooner or later. Take that in. Pokemon Black and White will be turning 15. We were all born before then. So imagine how old we will be when they turn 15.
Mm.
True.
Pokemon X and Y is going to turn 10 years old. Sun and Moon isn't too far from 10 years old itself. It's about to turn 7.
True.
The 3DS is an outdated hardware, which means if the 3DS is already outdated, imagine how the DS must be.
Yeah. The DS
Remakes
was for the 2000s, while 3DS was like for like the 2010s.
2010. So you can only imagine.
So we're waiting for Samurai again.
I guess so. Someone came into the room.
Sorry. Somebody came into the basement. Sorry, somebody came into the basement.
Mm.
It's all right.
Okay.
No problem.
Well, where was I? Yeah, it's the quintessential way to play that generation. Remakes aren't meant to be things to change up the formula. No, it's meant to be you want to replay this generation? Good. Now you can play it on updated hardware with all the good features and none of the things that made the other generations bad. Gen 5, Black and White are good games, but if you try to play Gen 5 today, they are very dated. They are very dated.
Because they were presented on outdated hardware.
Thank you. It's like how when people try to play Red and Blue back in the day, it would be outdated. It's like how someone tried to play Diamond and Pearl today, it would be pretty hard because it's kind of outdated and you're used to more modern hardware. Sooner or later, if we try to go back to play X and Y or Sun and Moon, they'll be pretty outdated. Arguably, X and Y is outdated now.
Mm.
Things grow older. Time just doesn't stop. Gen 5 is gonna be remade. Gen 5 has so many problems with it. I think Gen 5 is a great generation, but it has a lot of problems with it. The huge leveling curve at the end of the game, huge graphical errors. Sure, the sprites look nice, but how far is that going to take you? The sprites weren't that expressive. Pokemon still basically moved up and down. It's just that the sprites look nice. Oh my god, my Pokemon's moving up and down, but it's in 16-bit, so I can forgive that. Oh my god, it's not like Incineroar has a very expressive model where it constantly moves in a different motion compared to other Pokemon. Maybe because it was designed for 3D modeling, and most Pokemon are designed for 2D modeling, so that's why it's so hard to get them into a 3D space looking right. But no, us Pokemon fans, no. Sam, sorry, continue. I took it away from Sam.
Yep.
And Sam,
People just really had to nitpick for things just to like. Well, I'm trying to say this as politely as possible. They just like to nitpick things just to like possibly just criticize something, even though they didn't do like enough. They didn't put enough thought into their responses.
That's not Pokemon fans. They're weird. I'm gonna talk about Pokemon Legend Arceus. Sorry, I'm back. I had to do something. Sorry, I'm back. So about Pokemon's Legends Arceus, the game looks great. Actually, I'm very excited for this game. We got some new forms released. I'm definitely very excited for this game to come out. I definitely think this game is contending for almost Game of the Year levels of how much people are going to enjoy it.
Well, to be fair, I don't even know what other games is gonna come up.
Not sure either.
Yeah, there's not a lot of games coming out this year. Most of these games are coming out 2022. For example, I think Metroid Dread. I can't remember if Metroid Dread is coming out this year or next year.
Well, technically, Legends Arceus is also coming out next year. Not this year.
Shut up. It's coming out this year. People complaining that Nintendo fans have no standards, and then they compare Pokemon Legends Arceus to another game when they're meant to be completely different landscape. It's almost like people look at something, don't think about it, and think, yeah, because this game has more trees than this one, it means this game is better.
Oh my god.
Then again, these are the same people who looked at one tree in Sword and Shield, one singular tree in Sword and Shield, lost their collective shit. Okay?
Yeah.
My god, being so nitpicky.
To be fair, I always loved Sword and Shield, and I'm not trying to compare the games again. But personally, I still think that I like Sword and Shield's graphic a bit more than BDSP. But we'll see when BDSP actually comes out.
Also, that involves another thing. If you're on Pokemon Instagram, by Pokemon Instagram I mean like you're in the Instagram community on Pokemon, you'll see a lot of posts people saying, what the heck is this? This is not Diamond and Pearl Remix. It looks so lazy. It's called a stylistic choice. Oh my god. Have you guys not played stylized games? They're games being in pixels. Does that mean the game is necessarily bad or lazy? No, it just means it's a style. Oh my god. Pokemon has always been chibi. Have you not seen Oras? Oras was the most. Oras and X and Y were some of the most chibiest stuff ever. Compare your full model to the model in game. That is some chibi stuff. Sun and Moon was the only 3DS game to have similar renders to the portraits. That is the only one. Sword and Shield is the first game to do this. I'm sorry that this isn't using the same engine as Sword and Shield and they're using a different outsourcing company. Wasn't that the thing you guys were asking about? You guys legit said last year, and I quote, why doesn't Pokemon just outsource help instead of relying on the 100 employees they have there? Well, now they're outsourcing, and now you guys have a problem with that? Choose one. It's almost like Pokemon fans are never satisfied, but I'm not getting into that argument again.
They just never seem to like make up their minds or something.
it's almost like when you have games released almost every 3 years, you kind of feel entitled to a good game. It's not like every Pokemon game is probably very good and people over nitpick. Change the formula, they said. We have trials instead of gyms. Go back. Why do we have gyms again? Why did you cut the decks? Oh, I'm sorry. You definitely need Durant in your Pokemon Sword playthrough. Yeah, you totally need Durant.
Wasn't Doran in Pokemon Sword and Shield?
I don't even know, and I don't even care.
I think it was.
Yeah, you definitely need Basculin, Durant. You definitely need those Pokemon. Those Pokemon were key members of your team. It's not like this is a great way for you to actually experience the new region and use different Pokemon than the ones you're used to. But no, excuse us for trying to make you use different Pokemon and not have all 800 creatures available to you at the start. All 800 creatures that you're probably only going to use 6 of the entire playthrough.
Mm.
Exactly.
Well, fortunately for Sam, Charizard will always be in the game.
Oh yeah. Like Samurot's just coming to the game now. Was I sad that I couldn't bring Samurott into the game before? Yeah, I was sad. But did I live with it? Yes. Because it's not that big of a deal. You want a game with the national decks? Go play Pokemon Black and White too. Because that was the last game with a national deck. Pokemon XY, Ultra Sun and Moon did not have national dexes whatsoever. If a Pokemon wasn't in the Pokedex, it just wouldn't register. It just wouldn't register. You would just have the Pokemon, but it wouldn't register in the Pokedex.
Mm.
Well, I would make here's my thing. I would have loved like some of the Universe starters to be in it, so I could have my favorite grass type superior in the game, so I can complete my ultimate dream team. But even though I was disappointed, I didn't let it ruin my experience of Sword and Shield.
Thank you. This forced me to use different Pokemon than I usually did. Don't get me wrong, I still had my architect of the regional flying type, cool fighting type, the starter, which is usually water type.
Mm-hmm.
But don't get me wrong, I don't mind you using your favorites. Go ahead. But don't get mad when they're not in the game if your favorite Pokemon's like flipping Luminion. I'm sorry if your favorite Pokemon's Luminion, but that Pokemon had no chance of being in the game. If Samurott didn't get in, no fucking way Luminion got in.
I feel like Luminion is remembered because it is forgettable.
That's pretty much it, because a lot of Gen 4 Pokemon were pretty hard to get, and I had to do you had to have specific things in order to get these Pokemon, which is why they're so non-remembered, is because it was so hard to get them. And Black and White, they fixed this issue by not having you get any new Pokemon, which I kind of like, to be honest. Have one of the region just be all new Pokemon and have the other side be old Pokemon returning. It's like a nice balance. Or have it be like Black and White 2 where you have a mix. But at least in Black and White, yeah?
Guys, I had to get going, so yeah, I'm signing off. Heart Club Productions.
All right, we'll see you later. But yeah, that is the end of my rant. So I think that is all the topics we had today.
No, we have to talk about Marvel. Or it isn't a Marvel 2 podcast.
We have to talk about Marvel What If.
We seriously do. We need to talk about Chadwick Boseman's performance. Potentially one of his last performers.
I'm being serious.
Yeah. Well, so did you watch the new episode of What If?
I did watch a new episode of What If, but there is one thing that I want to comment on that was kind of hilarious. I kind of don't like Thanos being a good guy. That scene made me laugh. I don't like Thanos being a good guy.
Oh, by the way, spoiler warning. Zero, could you put like a spoiler warning there? Yeah, thank you.
Probably is.
Thanos got like nerfed a lot. Like a meme that described it accurate was like the boss when I played against him, and the boss when I unlock him as a playable character. That was what happened to Thanos. Thanos couldn't handle like 2 soldiers from the Black Order. And he
Yeah.
beat the shit out of Hulk in Infinity War.
I'm sorry that Thanos being a good guy because quote unquote T'Challa said you can be a good guy. No, no, no,
Hmm.
no, no, no. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
I like T'Challa. I like Black Panther as much as everybody does. But no, now you're just making him seem like a guy who can just turn the most evilest of guys, the mad titan of Thanos himself, a good guy. So all we really needed to do was stop Thanos was like, yo, T'Challa, give this guy a therapy session. You got this. That's all we really needed to do.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, it just seems kind of unreasonable.
And by the
Like
way,
you want to make Thanos into a good guy? Just say in this, what if he was a good guy and him and T'Challa get along? You did not have to make it. You did not have to. I don't know how to say this. Make T'Challa sound better.
well, I enjoyed it for what it was.
I'm not gonna take that away from you. As long as you enjoyed it, you enjoyed it.
And I want to mention that I finally watched Black Widow.
How did you enjoy? Did you enjoy it?
It was fine. I like it. I like it more than like I heard a lot of negative thoughts about it in the internet. And I think I liked it. Just like it's wasted potential in my opinion. Like obviously Taskmaster, they setting up to be the great villain, but they just weren't. And yeah, like everything could have been done better. Like also Red Guardian and Yelena, no, just Red Guardian. Yeah, Red Guardian could have been done better, but it was fine. Like it's like good for Marvel standard. No, it's good. It's great for movie standard, but fine for Marvel standard.
Eh. Again, Marvel's a franchise I kind of like. The MCU in general is kind of like I've fallen off it. I'm not as hyped for it anymore.
I can understand.
It's more because I already felt like Endgame, if they wanted to end the MCU, Endgame would be like the perfect place to end it.
Mm,
Like,
yeah, but
don't even get me wrong. I think I think the movies and the shows that are coming out now, they're great. Don't get me wrong. But
mm,
personally, I I just don't go with the whole. I just don't go with the whole MCU anymore. It's just I thought they were the end of the era, and that's probably where I'm gonna leave off on the MCU for like a while. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll see what they're always gonna do. Like, I'll always be checking out what they're doing. I'm not gonna completely shut it out, but I definitely it's not gonna be something I'm gonna keep up with as much as I used to. Not to mention Iron Man was my favorite character, so when your favorite character dies, and since this is an anime, he doesn't come back to life.
mm. Well, if Samurai doesn't follow Marvel that much anymore, I guess we can't be called the Marvel 2 podcast anymore soon.
Don't worry. If you guys want to talk about Marvel, I'll always be down to talk about it. I still like Marvel as like a company. Like I'll still keep up with the comics and like stuff, but like the MCU in general, I just won't be as into it as much as I used to be.
Mm.
Like I'm definitely focused on other things other than the MCU and Pokemon right now.
Yeah, I can understand.
But yeah, I think that is everything we need to talk about.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I had a whole rant in this podcast that Zero was probably gonna hate editing because I swore so much.
Mm, Zero, but well, you probably already heard the rant, but I have to tell Zero to turn down his volume when editing.
Yeah, you tell him that. I'm too tired.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
editing
guys.
right now.
Also. Why were you guys having a whole thread conversation at 6 o'clock?
Well, it's 6 o'clock for you, but not for us.
We're having a whole conversation. Anyways. All right. This has been the Masters A podcast. We had Heart Cloud Productions as our special guest. And next week we will have another special guest. If Dino looks in the mod chat, he'll know that I kind of made a mistake with scheduling, but he will be here next week.
Hmm.
But I wish everybody the best here from the Masters Day podcast. We'll be back next week talking about the new episode. So, Dino, do you have anything to say before we sign off?
Yeah, and it's Dino, and I still don't have a creative goodbye, so I would say bye.
All right, typical Dino. All right, let me just tell Craig to leave, and then we can hit the road.
Bye.